Linear system.
Yeah. Also, that time you saw.
Tuesday.
Oh, no. Last Friday.
Okay. When somebody says that your resistance is slow, actually slow, what does it mean? It means if your body resistance is low for the past. Yeah. It's easy to get sick because your resistance is low means actually your immune system is so if your if your immune system is strong, your resistance is strong, that also means you will not be sick. So it's actually quite easy to use. That it all depends on our immune system. If you have a strong immune system, you don't get sick. Now, but what is the reason for uh, having a low resistance? Let's see what the doctor says. Now, if you look at this book, the amazing nutrients that fight dangerous free radicals, guard against cancer and other diseases, the antioxidants. Okay? We have uh, the biggest market of supplements in the world is actually antioxidants. Everybody is taking antioxidants. Why are we taking antioxidants? Because antioxidants can fight dangerous free radicals, guard against cancer and other diseases. Another book by Lester Packard. We now understand the role that free radicals play in the onset and progression of nearly every known disease, and more important, how can they be controlled by antioxidants? So everybody goes for antioxidants. Everybody knows antioxidants. You take vitamin C, antioxidant. You take glucosamine, antioxidant. I don't know at your age, do you take any antioxidants? Vitamins and all that. Okay. Well, maybe you don't take now, but when you're young, I'm sure the parents actually give you a lot of yeah. Like cod liver oil. Do you take cod liver oil? No. Oh, okay. You also can get on antioxidants from your vegetables. So antioxidants. Now, the other thing that makes immune system weak is acid. The researchers find that your body needs to be alkaline. If your body is not alkaline, you will die. Simple as that. And these are not just fictions, they actually have clinical studies proving. When we were baby, we are all alkaline. When we die, we are all acid. Acid. That's why the body. This doctor also says uh, your body thrives in an alkaline environment since it is able to detoxify more efficiently than in an acidic. So we can also deduce that alkalinity actually detox, but acid actually produce toxin. So you have heard of people going detox and stuff like that, right? Detox and all that, but that is going through have the body to get alkaline, so to detox. Um, So whether your resistance is low or strong, it depends on it's talking about your immune system. A weaker immune system would be acidic, which is producing toxin, or is oxidizing, which is producing free radicals. Free radicals will uh, uh, destroy your good cells to turn them into irregular cells. That's how you get chronic diseases like cancer. A healthy immune system would be alkaline. Your body will alkaline, you remove toxic and antioxidizing, you eliminate free radicals. So there's nothing in between. That's why you see the biggest market in the world for supplements Everybody knows. And everybody knows after a certain age you got to go to detox. That means, you create enough oxygen. So everybody knows you got to go detox, you got to go it is a general knowledge. But the thing is, if antioxidant is that important, if alkalinity is that important, is it better if the water you drink is antioxidant? If the water you drink is alkaline, is it better for the body to build up the immune system? Why would it be better? Because 70% of the body is water. Blood, 90% of blood is water. Brain, 80%. Muscle, 75%. Cartilage is 70 and 90%. So if the water we drink is antioxidant, it will actually have a lot better than taking antioxidant. Because 70% of our body is water. Now, if the water we drink is having this detoxing effect, it's better than relying on other methods to detox, because water is what we need, what we drink, and also 70% of the water. But on the contrary, if water is that we drink is oxidizing or acid, then it's worse. Why? Here you can buy a lot of antioxidants and start trying to build up. While you are taking this antioxidant, you are drinking oxidizing. So that it cancels off each other. It doesn't help anything. So it could be the reason that the chronic diseases actually is on the rise instead of on the reduce. It's not because we don't have a general knowledge of how to take care. It's how is that we might have neglected one major factor. So today we want to test the water, see whether the water you drink is actually antioxidant or actually oxidizing. The water you drink is actually alkaline or acid. This is how we test. First, we will check if the water you drink is alkaline or acid. Now, pH means potential hydrogen. I don't know if you have this subject you have. So pH. Neutral is 7. Above neutral is alkaline. Below 7 is acid. Okay. So by dropping this testing liquid, you can see whether it is alkaline or acid. Do you drink soft drink? Sure you drink, right? What soft drink do you drink? Oh, I see. I see. I used to drink Coke only. I drink Coke so much that if you give me Pepsi Cola, I know. So here is your 7-Up, which represents all soft drinks. And this is actually some bottled water. We always think that bottled water is better than tap water or orange tap water. And this is here. And this is lime. Bottled water comes in two forms. One is purified water, and the other one is mineral water. In general, and this is a very popular mineral water in Indonesia. Almost most of the Indonesians they drink aqua, they drink this brand. Because in Indonesia the water is too hot. They seldom drink from tap. It's full of bacteria. So they actually drink aqua. Now this is tap water. Tap water also comes in different forms, different types. If we stay near Istana, where President stayed, the tap water is better. Okay, and this is the water we are talking about, and it's called hydrogen. Alright, let's see what happens if I drop this liquid. Now you look at the color. This is white acid. Meaning if you drink this, you will produce toxin. This is bottled water, is also white acid. Evian is a known brand for mineral water. It's actually a bit alkaline. And this water is called life. Actually, it's day water. but you can't call yourself day water, otherwise you can't sell. So you call it live water. This is aqua, also a little bit alkaline. And this is tap water. Tap water is usually neutral because government cannot afford to have acid water going through the pipes. That's why they artificially make them alkaline. Okay, this is cutting water, which the pH is actually 9.5. Now, some people might have this concept that if you drink too alkaline, if your body is too alkaline, you will die too. Because the healthy pH of the body is 7.4. Anything above, you will get sick. Anything below, you will get sick. So you got to maintain 7.4. But so if this is 9.5, would it be too alkaline? The answer is, if you are staying in a city like in Singapore, you will not be. Because every moment, every second, you are attacked by acid and also oxidation. How to prove it? Very easy. You just peel a banana, put it here, okay, go out, do something, 1 hour later come back and look at the banana. You can see that it's already oxidized. Acid. Right now we are staying in this comfortable room, but we are using indoor ventilation. The air that is indoor actually circulates within this building. If somebody on the 30th floor is sick or having a flu, you are breathing this in. Actually, this is really very unhealthy. So, every moment you walk on the street, you do something, you get stressed and all that, you get attacked by acid. In fact, alkaline liquid like this, about 7, it won't have to neutralize the acid. Alright, so we have tested the water you drink, whether they're acid or not. Now, if you are drinking this water, then your body is quite acid. Just like my body, it was quite acid. And it produces toxins. When it produces toxins, it actually weakens the immune system. Now we want to test whether the water you drink is oxidizing or antioxidant. How do we do that? We actually have this meter testing your oxidation reduction potential. Oxidation reduction potential means how much you can reduce the oxidation in whatever you are testing. If it is plus, then it's no good. Plus means it will create free radicals, it doesn't reduce. The oxidation is not reduced. Now, these are some of the drinks that are both that they are oxidizing and oxidizing. For soft drinks, it's about plus 400, 300 to 400. For purified water, distilled water is about 2 to 300. For tap water, it's also around this range. Now, if there is an antioxidant, if the water is antioxidant, you'll be minus, you'll be something here. Like vitamin C is minus 50. Green tea, minus 100. Cod liver oil, why did I mention cod liver oil just now? Because it is minus 200. It's very good. It's very good antioxidant. Our water, it could be, we will test it later, and it could be minus 400. Now, if our water is having an antioxidant of minus 100, this is a fact that it is actually 8 times of vitamin C, 2 times of green tea, and 4 times of green tea, and then 2 times. possible. Okay. Let me do the testing now. And you tell me whether it's positive or negative. Okay. Soft drinks. Where is it? Plus 6. This is really very oxidizing. Acid and oxidizing. All plus. In fact, we have discovered that all the waters we drink, they are actually all oxidizing. All oxidizing. It's only a matter of how oxidizing. Tap water? How much? Okay. Now look at our water. Minus 400. Yeah, minus 400, which is extreme. Meaning this is a very strong oxidant. Better than taking any, the doctors actually say better than taking any fruits, any vegetables and all, because they are only minus 50 or 100, 200, but ours is minus 400. So you can see now why the health decision, the health rate is still going up. The chronic diseases, the rate of people suffering from it is still going up. 1 in 4 will get cancer. 1 in 3 will get cholesterol, high blood, or diabetes and stuff. Why? Could it be the fact that they are not getting enough oxygen? Here they buy oxidants and take. Go to UNC or whatever, buy oxygen, antioxidant. But at the same time, they're drinking oxidizing water. So it doesn't match up. They actually cancel each other. That's why you still have a very big health issue. Now, Japan has been advocating the importance of water. And in the health index of the world, they are number 1. Number 1 healthiest people in the world. That's why they live longer. Now, America, although they are powerful in many ways, but the health index is actually 38. What's the improvement? Why? The diet, look at the drinks. An average American would drink soft drinks, coffee, tea. They seldom drink this water. And it could be the reason of what you drink. Okay. Now, so how to turn your body to become antioxidant and alkaline, which is a better way. If you are taking antioxidant and drinking oxidizing water, cancel off. Now, here is a way to change your water. Now, this is drinking water, which has been tested to be both alkaline and antioxidant. Now, let's imagine, okay, what will happen in your body. Let's say your body is quite unusual. We drink drinking water, look at the color. Change to alkaline right away. Very acid, changes right away. Okay? Yeah. Look at this. Changes right away. That means if your body is acid, water in your body is acidic, drink this, it will change right away. But this, that's why we don't drink soft drinks. Okay, we only find that our water can actually alkaline it. How about antioxidant? We have already poured the drinking water here. Just now it was plus 600. And now? It becomes minus 200. Meaning, if your body's water is oxidizing, drink this, you become antioxidant. This is how I'll do this antioxidant minus. All of them actually become minus now. And you don't have to wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes before it turns alkaline or antioxidant. It's almost immediately. So that's why it would immediately help your body in becoming alkaline and antioxidant. Now, when your body is alkaline and oxidizing, antioxidizing, what will happen? Your immune system will build up, your energy level. Let's do a little test with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but let's try. Okay, can you come up?
Never drink water yet.
Now, you stand in, please approach your legs. Alright. Now, I try to pull you off balance. Okay, you try to release. Look.
Straight.
Off balance. Okay.
Teacher disease.
Okay. So now, okay, we try. Now you neck close again. Okay. Now.
Disease, huh?
Down. Okay. Okay. I'm 80 kilo. Okay. I jump up. Okay. I go down. Do you really resist me?
No, because I see-
Not really, right?
Right, so you can see the
And you just drink half a glass. Thank you. Thank you.
two speakers with one audience.
So, so you know the water actually works because just now you drink only half a cup. You already see the difference. Imagine if you drink a lot every day. Imagine you are drinking no other water but only that. But to really make it work, you really have to drink quite a bit because 70% of the body is water. How much to drink? You drink is very easy. Let's say what's your weight? 90, okay? 90, half of 90 is what? 45, right? So you are going to drink 4.5 liters. Like me, I'll drink 4 liters because I'm 50. Like Michelle, maybe she will have 7 liters. Depending on your weight. Just now you see, drinking half a cup, I can't pull you off balance. You didn't really resist it. Now, if you drink enough, if you change your water to alkaline and to antioxidant, you will find that your immune system will build up. It will, because 70% of now, since since I bought this machine, it helped me, family, getting, becoming healthier. Not only that, friends who have diabetes problems, who have other chronic diseases, like high blood, cholesterol, they find themselves healthier, immune system taking over, and the doctors actually tell them to reduce the medicine. People on insulin 3 times a day get rid of the insulin. Why? Because the immune system is taking over. When the immune system takes over, the immune system will cure a lot of diseases. So be careful. Don't tell people that this water you drink it can cure your diabetes, cure your heart attack, it can cure cancer. No, it doesn't cure all this. It only build up your immune system and your immune system will cure. Our immune system is very important. If your immune system breaks down, you will die instantly. AIDS, we know AIDS, but what does AIDS mean? Acquired acquired immunity deficiency syndrome. Okay. Meaning, once you get it, your immune system stops to work. If a person with AIDS sits here with us, he will die. Why? Because he cannot defend himself from all the bacteria that we are having, the germs that we are having. You know, we have germs around here, bacteria around here, our immune system. So we have the immune system working, but we are compromising it by putting too much acid, too much oxidation. Now, because it works, so a lot of people with chronic condition actually see themselves. Now, this is one of the cases where Asian actually was so glad about the water, he gave us this medical report. Now, 2 years ago, he was diagnosed as kidney infection 2 years ago. And the doctor told him, I cannot reverse your condition. I can only slow it down. Meaning, sooner or later, you will go for dialysis. Because your kidney will stop functioning in time to come, and you need a dialysis machine. So, 2 years ago, he was diagnosed as a kidney patient. 2 years later, when he came to see me, is on 11th January. 11th January. His creatinine is already 797. Now, creatinine is a measure, it's a measurement on the function of the kidney. 900, you will go for dialysis, and he's about 100 away from it. So the doctor was actually preparing him to for the dialysis. So he came and he started to take water from my machine. Every 2 days, he will come and take 5 liters. Why couldn't he store up the water and take the water for a week consumption? The reason is, the moment the water leaves our machine, it will start oxidizing, just like that. So it's only good for 2 days. When the machine first left when the water first left the machine, you can see that the ORP was minus. This time it was what, minus 600. Yeah. Few hours later, it will become minus 400. Tomorrow it will become minus 300. So you cannot store the water for too long. So every 2 days, you will come to my place and take water. Now this is 11th January. On the 20th January, 9 days later, his creatinine actually dropped down to 725. Still not out of danger. But on the 3rd February, he went down to 679. Still far away from being healthy, but he may have to go. So this is just one of the many cases of how this is. Now, we're happy that Kidney actually came here to help us in some of our own testimony. Can we welcome Kidney? Come on.
Actually, my team have a lot of people with a lot of different conditions, and there are just so many testimonies pouring in. Like psoriasis, we had one Philip. He suffered psoriasis since childhood. More than 5 decades. In his, he's already 60s, and he went on this water, and 2 months he was 100% healed, and he said that joker gone. Yeah, and
he suffered for 50 years.
Yes, since childhood. So he's a happy man now. And then we had Sebastian. He suffered a lot of conditions, tinnitus, ringing in the ear. and then trigger finger, um, gout, and 2 weeks on the water, all the problems gone. Actually, I mean, it's very exceptional because it's such a short time. Everyone is different, depending on how sick the person is, how toxic the person is. Actually, Sebastian said, he was already suicidal because of the ringing in the ear. And, thank God lah, after drinking the water, uh, the tinnitus, the ringing in the ear stopped. And then, we had one Sue, she's a ex-Mediacorp producer of documentaries. She bought the machine and she gave 5 cups of water to her sister. And her 10 over year insomnia gone. I mean, I was amazed myself because just 5 cups and, 10 over year insomnia. And then she gave to a nurse also. Uh, this nurse had nose polyps and lost her sense of smell. So, on this water she drank, beginning, she recovered 20% of her, smell. And, then 1 month later she recovered 100%. And she's a nurse. So, like kidney, quick kidney, also we got 2 persons. One is a matron, she was a pioneer who helped set up the Mount Elizabeth Hospital. Her creatinine level also dropped. And then, she also had other benefits, like more energy, and, aches and pains, relieved. Very remarkable, testimonies in my team are the autistic children that we have. Yeah. Actually, there was one boy about 19, not young, already 19. The father is in the water business. He distributed a water ionizer and he manages water systems for corporate clients. And so we share with him about this water that it would help, his son. So just 2 weeks on the water, the teacher asked the grandfather who brings him to school, what do you all do differently for this boy? Because autism is a spectrum disorder. And the teacher said, he was calmer. Many of them suffer, they have ADHD. And he was calmer, he could focus and finish his assignment, which is a big thing for a specialist teacher. And not only that, he slept, he slept better also because if he cannot sleep, then he would disturb the parents the next day. The parents need to work, and he stopped beating his teacher. He also could respond appropriately because last time, there was, the previous Chinese New Year, not the last one, the one before last one, when the grandfather gave him a coffee, fully convenient. But, the recent one, he could, give oranges to the grandfather and, accepted, the angpao. So grandfather was so happy giving the second one. And now we hear, he is now on mind of his own, can think, all that. So his others are all like argue back and all that. So, but they are happy problems actually. Then another one, 17-year-old. The mother on the phone told me, Kimberly, our lives are so much better nowadays. Because she said last time she didn't even have peace, to go into the bathroom. Because the son keep throwing things down the house. Also autistic child, boy. And when he snatched the brother's book, they will ask whose book is this. He will answer, Jonathan's book, Nicholas' book. But now, he said, I'm sorry. So the mother said, hey, this is a new level of understanding. Because autistic children cannot be in touch with their feelings. I had another one also, 7-year-old boy. The doctor wrote a letter saying, he was not ready for P1 admission. So the father agonized because the father, is an ex-university lecturer in Australia. And so I told him about the water. And so, he put this son, on the water together with supplements as well. And he noticed great improvement in his we got so many testimonies from you know a myriad, a range of religions, and some of the testimonies also amaze ourselves. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. So you see the water itself is only known that it is very active and very alive. And that's all you need to build up your immune system. Once your immune system is built up, you can see how amazing. Okay, before I go on, let me also show you carry of these topics. Okay, how acid it is. Even you know. Now I used to drink Coca-Cola. When people say you drink a lot of water, I drink a lot of Coca-Cola. I thought that would happen. But now I know this happens. And I drink Coca-Cola because I don't like to drink water. It doesn't taste nice. But this water mixes it actually tastes good. So okay. I also want to show you that once the water is alkaline and also antioxidizing, you have another property, and that is microcluster. The water molecule becomes very small, smaller, maybe 5 times smaller than pure water. So this is just a demo. I don't see my thunder. One day you see me just very soon she will become 60. Then you first wash it. Now you will use this sparkling water. Usually you need to boil it before you can draw the tea out. Now you touch it. Just to show you, I did find this effect from David Copperfield. This is tap water. Now I go back to sparkling water. Color come back. So that is why you felt the energy just now immediately because the molecule is so small, it just goes into the cell. So to change the water, all you need to do is to drink a lot to replace the 70% with the water. And how to produce clean water? We're actually using a method called electrolysis or ionize. Meaning it goes through by electric current through a chamber of 7 states. The positive, the negative ions would actually go to the positive plate to produce minerals like calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. These are antioxidants. And also, positive ions would be charged with negative electrons, and they will produce stuff like phosphorus and chlorine and sulfur. Okay? So this is how they produce clean water. Meaning, electrolysis, you would have a positive charge and negative charge. So our machine actually come out with two types of water every time. Alkaline on one side and then acid on the other side. This is how we produce the Okay. Now I want to talk about the predecessor of our water. This company used to design and manufacture electrolysis machine for hospitals. In Japan, there are more than 50 hospitals, drug-free. They use only water to heal the patients. Patients of diabetes, patients of cholesterol, high blood, skin problem, cancer, and all. They use only water. And they use this electrolysis. And the patients, doctors, and nurses, they always go back to hospitals for the water, for the drinking water. That's why the company start to do domestic electrolysis machine for us to have the water. This is how it started. They have manufactured the domestic units in 1995. These are some of the hospitals in Japan. This is Kyowa, Akasaki, and these are actually the predecessors of our machine, very good machine, supply of the hospital. So the method is this: tap water will go into the filter out the sediments, the chlorine and things like that, and then will come here for the electrolysis. Here it will come out alkaline water, and then here it will come out acidic water. This also goes to show the quality of the water. Now in Japan, the filter of this machine, it can filter 12,000 liters in Japan. But in Singapore, other places, it can filter only 6,000. Why? Because the quality of the water in Japan is better. This is the machine. The water goes through this filter and then comes to this chamber for electrolysis. Now, we have 7 plates of electrolysis placed here. Base plate will be this titanium, and they will be coated with platinum. How to coat the platinum on the titanium plate? 2 methods. One is with spray paint. The other one is actually dip in the platinum. Now, if you spray paint, the cost will be a lot cheaper because you can have a big plate and you start to spray paint. But spray paint will not do a complete job. You will see holes and all that. The spray paint has a method. Problem is, if you electrolyze on other metals other than platinum, you will produce toxin. This toxin won't kill you right away, but slowly, you accumulate the poison. That's why our way of doing it is more expensive way. That is dip into the pool of platinum and take out individually, not a big piece, and then they go and cut them up individually. That's why our quality is actually the best. Now, this is a factory in San Francisco. We have 2 factories, one in America, one in Japan. Japan, one is in Osaka. Everything you see in the machine is produced here. Even the resin for the carbon is produced here in Japan. There's no OEM. We do not have any suppliers. But on the contrary, a lot of machines outside, they are actually produced by only one company, and that is called APCO. If you want to make it, you want to have your own brand, you can actually write to APCO and say, I want my own brand. Okay, just supply me the machine. So you can see Jupiter actually came from this APCO, and the rest of a lot of these Marvelo, all these, they actually came from the same. Only the facade is different and everything. Alright, how to know that our machine is good? Because we will rely on third party companies that certify how good your machines are. Now, we have a lot of certificates from 901, And especially this one is actually certified that our machine is medical grade. Not only just a electrolysis machine, but medical grade. Now this certificate is renewable on a yearly basis, meaning randomly they will go to your factory and check whether you are maintaining the standard. So every year we have to get this. Now this one is the old one. You can see the new one outside. Every year. So our standard is maintained. These are the certificates that you see outside. You can't see them in other machines because they simply are not that good. Now, our water is also called structured water. Structured water meaning when you put our water under a microscope, you can find that our water is actually a hexagonal crystal form. Drain water would be something like this, and distilled water would be something like that. So ours is called structured. Structured water means it's alkaline, it is anti-oxidizing, and also is called microplastic. Now, why is it called Kangen water? Kangen in the word of Japanese word it means back to the origin. Now, originally, when the water comes from the sky, the cross sand water is already very alkaline and very antioxidant. That the water was meant to be like that. But because of our pollutions and all that, water now, most of them are actually acidic. That's why the company is using the machine to bring it back to our purified water. Do we still have water of that kind of quality? Yes. A place in France called Lolec. Here, you see these people. They are there for the water. Every day you have this amount of people there. People on wheelchair, people having cancer, people having cholesterol, they will go there for water. Since when? Since 1845. That's how good the water is. And they have preserved the water well since 1845. In the early days, they didn't know why this water has this healing benefit. So they call them holy water. They have a Mother Mary statue there, thinking this holy water is the mercy of God. But in the other part of the world, in Mecca, where these Muslims go for pilgrimage, they also have the same kind of water. They call it Zamzam water. Now they have a black Fatima there. Okay. All in all, the scientists found that the water, the natural water, is actually very alkaline and very antioxidant. The alkalinity of this natural water, is actually pH 10. And the antioxidizing is actually above minus 1000. It's better than the membrane water. Other places, China, you also have similar places where the waters are still well preserved, like this Longevity Village, Burma, or Mexico, or Germany. There's still few places preserving this type of water. Okay, now we want to see what doctors talk about Kangen water. Because doctors are quite radical about stuff. When one clinical study, they want to have a backing before they say anything. So let's see what the doctors talk about. Water. Now, Gerald Bresnahan, he's a cardiologist of a few presidents in America. Now, of course, the human president Obama, he's a cardiologist. He said hundreds of thousands of our patients have seen remarkable results from drinking Kangen water. Now, notice that is very important. He didn't say thousands, hundreds of thousands of them have regained good health in drinking alkaline water or ionized water or he said can't get medical grade, meaning specifically the water coming out from the machine. So this is endorsement from a cardiologist for our president in America. And also you have these doctors. This is Dr. Carpenter. He stayed in Japan and he has the benefit. He tasted the benefit of the water. And when he went back to America, he couldn't find the water until drinking water was used. And this Dr. Gibson is actually a vascular surgeon, the highest grade of surgery is vascular surgeon, and he actually Harvard. And Dr. Allen, she has been treating brain damage patients for the last years. And her way of treating them are all drug-free way, meaning using interaction and exercise to bring the brain back to health. Now, she found the water a few years ago, and she found that the water could help the patient in recovery faster by 34%. Now, what she said was actually backed up by the study. And then we have this Dr. Shinya, who have designing the colonoscopy that almost everyone would use to check on the and also he also invented a way of taking away the polyps in our intestines by laser instead of cutting up the polyps. All of them, they all endorse. See what this doctor has to say now. Remember, the person who said this one is Harvard graduate and is also vascular surgeon. Now that is very powerful. One of the best things in life, he say actually, other than being a Harvard associate, is coming. Because it really helped a lot of people by building up the immune system, by fighting diseases, by the whole immune system. So these are the doctors. There are some doctors outside who say water doesn't matter, okay? But I'm quoting people who know. I'm quoting people, doctors of higher status. Now this is another one. This doctor, Otto Warburg, he won himself a Nobel Prize. And he said all forms of cancer have two basic conditions: acidosis and acquisition. Acidosis means the body is acidic, and also the body is oxidized. All cancer patients bodies are acidic. How to take away this? Again, this Dr. Shinya, he has cured hundreds of thousands of cancer patients. How do he cure? Drug-free. Cure them by giving them a very healthy diet and prescribe drinking water. What is a healthy diet that he prescribed? 95% raw. Only 5%. Now look around us. Our food is just the opposite. 95% cooked and 5% raw. So we don't eat healthy. But if you eat healthy and you drink healthy, you can cure your cancer. How do you cure cancer? If by eating healthy, by drinking, you're actually building up your immune system. Your immune system will take care of it. And in one of his books, he actually says the recurrence of the patients that he treated is zero. This is one of the cases that this is a 45-year-old breast cancer, After 3 months treatment, it's clear, recovered. And this is a patient going through the chemo, and after 3 months, it is alone with inflammation 3 months after. So it's very important to bring our immune system back and even feel very satisfied. Okay, this is a machine we call, that's why we call it, that's why we have slogan, change your water, change your life. Now, through electrolysis, this machine does not only give us drinking water, it also gives us other waters which I'm going to give now. Now, the blue, these waters in this blue section, they are for drinking, 9.5, 8.5, 9. And then you have clean water. Why do we need clean water? When you take medicine, you take clean water. Because medicine sometimes they come with this time release thing. That's why doctor prescribes three medicines a day, 3 pills a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. And because of time release. But if you drink medicine with the clean water, the whole thing will go out right away. There's no time. That's why you need and then down here you have beauty water. Beauty water, our elaborate on that. And then we have strong alkaline and strong acid. Because of electrolysis, what it does is, if we give you strong alkaline, you will give you strong acid. Okay, the strong alkaline is actually 11.5. Now, just to illustrate a bit, I'm going to clean these tomatoes with 11.5. And also, the usual way of cleaning tomatoes by tap water. Now, this one is rice. Clean the rice by 11.5. And this is tap water. Now, a lot of people, they are vegetarian because they don't take meat. Why don't they take meat? Because meat is cooked and they're acidic. That's why they don't take meat. But how come the vegetarians are not exempted from having cancer or cholesterol or high blood? It's because although they don't take meat, they still take in acid. Why? The pesticide, the preservation, the chemical they use, they are oil based. If you take that in, they are acidic. But they wash with tap water. The problem is they are oil based and tap water cannot wash away. Let me give you this is sesame oil, this is tap water. You see the oil actually float on top of the water. You cannot clean away the oil with tap water. But with strong alkaline water, it emulsifies it. Right? So what does it mean? It means if you wash your tomatoes, your vegetable and all that with clean water, the oil-based pesticides and other chemicals don't come out. But if you clean it with alkaline water,
11.5 because the glue was all over the place also. And normally they would use thinner, but they just used my 11.5 and they were so delighted because it effortlessly, came off. So I share this with my, my team and in my group chat lah. And so Carol, she said, wow, she said, this is good news. And then, she likes to experiment. And, straight away she went to try it, to try it herself. She said she used the epoxy glue. She said it was so smelly and wouldn't wash off, with water. And she said, it worked, you see. And she said she's very impressed. So this water also has a lot of uses, and it's eco-friendly. I didn't try paint. I just tried the contact adhesives. 11.5. Yeah, you see Carol Chua, she said, wow, that's news. And then she said, it actually works. I just tested with epoxy glue. So smelly, it wouldn't wash off with water. It actually was removed with 11.5. I'm impressed. She said, thanks for the tip.
Yeah. So you can get rid of chemical compound.
For the furniture, they use it to glue the laminate on my furniture.
Yeah.
It's very strong glue. And they will get it all on their hands, you see.
Yeah,
At
right.
the end of the day, they got to use finger to remove.
Okay. Right. Okay. That means you can get rid of stubborn mistakes. And yeah, clean towels. You can use it to clean towels. So you clean your towels with do you clean your towels with 11.5? I actually use it as shampoo. Yeah, because I mix the shampoo with oil. No matter how you stir it, the shampoo is shampoo, oil is oil. But this one you can emulsify. So I know when I wash my hair with this water, oil will be oil.
So, you don't use shampoo.
I don't use shampoo.
You just use the 11.
Yeah. Because you can tell the oil actually. So for oily scalp is good. For food tenderizer also. Now, as mentioned, uh, if you come out the strong Kangen, the other host will come out with strong acid. Now, the strong Kangen is 11.5, and the strong acid is actually 2.5. Strong acid 2.5 is actually known to kill 99.9%. So this is another level. We put the water under microscope. They have put in bacteria from this syphilis, and see how bacteria uh, swim in water. See, see the bacteria, very active, very active. See, swimming like Olympic swimmer. And now, they pour in acid 2.5. See all of the day, 20 seconds, all of the bacteria. So, what has that got to do with us? The dirtiest body of the dirtiest part of our body is actually our mouth. Every day these bacteria come in, and we actually kill the bacteria to maintain the hygiene of our mouth with this gargling of pH 2.5. And you have a sore throat, you have an ulcer, you have uh, pimples, stuff like that. You use 2.5 to gargle, you will take the very easy. So you can get rid of ulcer with 2.5. You also expedite healing. I have a feeling that you know every time you have a wound, then the hospital will sanitize it with alcohol and stuff like that. So I have a feeling if the bacteria is gone, the healing is faster. So get rid of gangrene, and that get rid of gangrene is the reason why in Japan the hospitals are using only water, pure water. Instead of chopping the legs with gangrene, they soak them into Wi-Fi and take away the bacteria and all that, and the immune system start to cure the gangrene. And there are get rid of pimples, mouth gargling, and all that. Now, this is one of the dentists. This has become a trend now. In Rome, treating the patient, they will be using 2.5. Now, this is one of the babies suffering from eczema. The mother has tried all kinds of things, Western, Mexican, Chinese, herbs, and whatever. So in the end, she just tried anything. So she tried it for 2 months. This this testimony was taken before the machine came to Singapore, so we didn't have much testimonies. But then, as time comes, we have a lot of testimonies. Now, this is what they do. If you go into the Clarke Quay Hospital, you will soak the lips here, and because the hospitals are using just water, so there's some news vertical. Uh, the Japan TV station actually interviewed uh, this Clarke Quay Hospital and also interviewed this person who has got diabetes problem. His diabetes is so serious that in the conventional hospital, he has to chop off his leg and chop off a few bones here. But he came here in this hospital, and the hospital soaked his legs into this 2.5 and drink 5 liters a day. And at the end of the YouTube video, you can see that this guy walked out of the hospital. These are some of the testimonies. Uh, his leg eczema and he become well in 2 weeks' time. Now this hand is terrible. This hand is you have actually a lot of itching spots. This is eczema. And, when you start scratching them, I know this hand very well because this is my hand. I have been having this problem for the last 30 years. And no cure. The doctor say no cure. You got to come back every few months to apply some ointment or some lotion and to go away until the sun will be back. But 2 years ago, when I discovered this letter, a friend actually gave me 2.5 to spray on them. A few days is all gone. But then there's no big deal because if you apply ointment and all that, they will also be gone. The thing is, after buying the machine, after drinking the water, it never happened. 2 years, it never came back. Look at my hands now. You have friends and all that with eczema problem and all that. Yeah. Now this guy is psoriasis. Terrible. He gave up hope already. But he discovered the water. This is 1st November, and this is 31st December. Now, if you have a condition as serious as this, you got to take it as medication. Meaning, you got to use all kinds of water. First, you must drink. Second, you must use strong alkaline water to tenderize. And then you apply this strong acid water to and then you got to use UV water. So the water in the machine you got to use it more if you have a condition. Now this lady psoriasis problem for years, and the psoriasis problem actually came up to the face. That's why you can't blame me for not. She was here just 2 weeks ago. I saw her. And this is another proof to show not all alkaline machines are the same. Her father is selling alkaline machine, but that would happen. So she bought our machine, and then this is December and this is February. When she got married 3 months ago, she was actually very diabetic, meaning psoriasis is much. I saw her a few weeks ago and she's very happy with her. Look at her hand. For her, this is a medication. She has to apply the water to prevent. Okay, this is what we call IMG. Uh, During a robbery, he was cut by this Farah, call it, Malay. Now, if the cut is not deep, then the doctor will just stitch. If it is too deep, then you have to stay away. Now, this is really very deep. So what happened was when he was chopped, he hold his head and asked his friend to spray the strong acid on it to stop the blood flow. This happened in Malaysia. So he waited on the road for 1 hour before the ambulance came. And they waited another 2 hours before the doctor came. So he could have endangered his life uh, by losing too much blood. But he said the acid water is safe. 2 months later, he said, even he said, you don't even see any scar. Okay, the electrolysis can electrolyze down to pH 11.5 and 2.5. So there's no problem electrolyzing it to pH 5.5. Now, why pH 5.5 is important? It's because our skin pH is 5.5. You want to repair your skin, you got to use the same water. That's why same water, the same water of the same pH. That's why you see the products protecting your skin in the market, you see this pH 5.5 everywhere. They all tell you, I sell it to you, you will working because it's pH 5.5. Now ours is the purest 5.5, no chemical, no nothing, just 5.5. Usually I have friends who have wives, before going, if they have a dinner that night, they will go to a beauty salon and they lift up their face and they go. Now they go. They just use this water. Just use this water to make the this is out. Now, this is one of the SMS text sent to us after selling the machine. See, what he said is, we asked him, we asked her if she's okay, and she said, it's okay. We are very well. My mates are severe pimples all over her face gone. Our flowers are alive. My garden is an exciting sight. No need to move to a smaller flat. Actually, she intended to move to a smaller flat to stay because the house is too big for her. And then the garden was quite exciting because it's just 2 places of living. But after, when she drank the water, the acid water that flew out, she used it to water the plant, become an insect. And the same lady uh, also texted us 2 months ago saying the doctor told her that she didn't have to go for chemo. We didn't know that she actually suffering. She's actually a cancer patient going to chemo. 2 months ago, doctor said you don't have to come for chemo. So she's a very happy. Now, we all know that this machine is sell under the market strategy of direct sales. Okay, what's the difference between direct sales and retail? Retail attracts, direct sales share. What do you mean by that? Retail products, they attract you by advertisements, by spokesmen, and also by beautiful massage decorations. Usually, the people promoting the products have got nothing to do with it. And for example, Oreo, you have this people promoting them. They are paid to promote this product because before using Oreo, they are already very good. The skin are very good. It's very different from ours where we actually buy the products and use and cure psoriasis, cure all this and that, and we share. This is you see, this girl use the water and become better. That is the beauty of direct sales. buy the machine used and it works and you share with others. And these are the celebrities who bought the machine. The company don't pay them. They buy the machine and they allow their names to be used because they work. You have Elton John, you have Bill Gates, you have Donald Trump, you have Angelina Jolie, Jennifer, a lot of them. A lot of them. But do we have spokespeople? We have. We have Dr. Carpenter, we have Dr. Allen, we have Dr. Shinya, and Dr. Tutor. These are the international. They sit on our advisory board. So, what I'm saying here is the water will have to build up your immune system, and therefore